Hi, welcome to Finance 300, the Principles of Finance. I'm Reza Houston, and I'm a professor of finance at Ball State University, and I'll be instructing you in this course. All right, so before I get going into the material, what we're going to be covering, whatnot, I think it's usually important for me to give everyone a background on who I am. I have my PhD from the University of Missouri. Before that, I got my MBA from Indiana State University, and before that, I was a property and casualty actuary. I've been at Ball State since the fall of 2018, and I will continue to hopefully be here for a while. All right, so let's talk about the course. So in this course, you're going to be learning the basics of finance. We'll cover what exactly finance is, some of the techniques that are absolutely fundamental to us as financial professionals. We'll cover the various industries or the various areas of the financial industry. We'll talk about time value of money. We'll talk about capital budgeting. We'll talk about what a stock and bond are. And then you'll also have a good background on what dividends are, what stock repurchases are, etc. All those things are going to be covered over the course of this semester. As far as the required text for this course, I would like you to get the text by Besley and Brigham called Corporate Finance. We're currently using the 6th edition, although feel free to use any edition that you'd like. I will not be requiring you to get any kind of access code. So feel free to go on Amazon as opposed to going to the bookstore. It might save you some money. Other things we will be using, I will be asking you to use Microsoft Excel as well as a financial calculator. In finance, we always use a BA2 Plus calculator. It's created by Texas Instruments. It's usually about 25 to 30 bucks at Walmart. As well as those two items, I will need you to obviously have a BSU network account just so I can send you emails, and we will be making use of Canvas. So if you've not used Canvas, it's very similar to Blackboard. I'll be posting all of my lectures on Canvas. I'll be posting all of the quizzes on Canvas, and I'll also be posting our discussion forum as well as our exams on Canvas. Now, as far as the format of the classes set up, it's going to be fairly rigid. So every single week, it'll be the same format. We'll cover one chapter from the text. You'll have a week or so to perform the assignments, do the readings, watch the lecture videos, and then each week we will have a chapter quiz. It'll essentially be 20 questions covering my lectures and what is covered in the text. It'll be something that hopefully incentivizes you to read and watch the videos. Now, usually in the past, I've not had any makeup opportunities for online courses, the reason being that I am giving you a week, although if there are special exceptions that need to be made, say you were ill, you have a doctor's note, or there was a death in the family, or something along those lines, obviously I would certainly let you make that up. Just let me know if there is some kind of issue like that. I guess as we go down the syllabus, there's a lot of the standard boilerplate stuff. Obviously, if you have a disability, please let me know. We can work around that. Don't cheat. I think that's pretty obvious to everyone who is in this class at this point. Obviously, that's not going to be treated very kindly. And then also, be courteous to your colleagues. So, like I mentioned a few seconds ago, we will have a discussion forum. And in that discussion forum, you're going to be responding to both myself and your colleagues, the other students in the course. And so I usually encourage students to be critical thinkers, and that usually can get a bit contentious, but I'd like you in those discussion forums not to obviously use foul language or degrade your classmates. I'd like to keep it very professional. As far as the material that you're going to be tested on or will be used to determine your grade in this class, we're essentially going to have 3 types of grades. You're going to have quizzes, the discussion forum that I just mentioned, and then exams, 3 exams. The quizzes, as I mentioned earlier, are going to be due every single week. They'll be due at 11:59 on Sunday nights at the end of the week that we're covering the chapter material. So for example, if we're covering chapter 5 and it's week 5, you'll have until 11:59 p.m. on week 5 to complete the quiz that is online under our modules tab. The discussion board, the way we're going to work that is I'm going to ask you to provide 2 pieces of information every single week. The first piece of information will be a response to something that I've posted related to the week's material. So for example, if we're talking about stocks, I might post something along the lines of a potentially undervalued stock that I have analyzed or that someone else has analyzed and produced an analyst report for. And I might ask you to discuss this based on what we've discussed in the lectures. That's the first part. It'll be something, very quick response on your part. Basically, if you've done the readings, watched the videos, it'll be a piece of cake. The other part to that discussion board is that I'm going to ask you to, every single week, respond to one of your classmates' discussion posts. So feel free to discuss, well, make a comment on anything that they might have mentioned, whether you agree with it, whether you disagree with it, and specifically why you agree or disagree with it. And if they've said something that is incorrect, feel free to correct them, obviously with some certain amount of etiquette. Now the final portion of the grade is going to come through exams. We'll have 3 exams in this class. Each exam will cover 5 chapters. So we'll have an exam covering chapters 1 through 5 during week 6. So you'll have a week or so to complete the exam. It'll be due on Sunday night of week 6. And then the second exam will be, we'll cover chapters 6 through 10. And that will be completed during week 11. And then our final exam will take place during our finals week during the semester, so week 16, and that'll cover chapters 11 through 15. Now for the exams, I'll be using a program called Examity. I've not used this before. This is actually a trial run for myself, so hopefully there's not going to be too many issues with it. What Examity does is it essentially has a proctor monitoring you as you take the exam. So you'll be able to take it wherever you want. The only issue with Examity is that you will be required to schedule the time that you take the exam. So for example, if we have an exam that covers chapters 1 through 5, you'll have to take it during week 6, so you'll have about a week from that Monday to that Sunday to take it. What you're going to have to do is register with Examity and select the time that you would like to take that exam. There will be blocks of time, and I will provide you more information on that as we get closer to those exams. So you're going to have to make sure that you have both a microphone and a camera on your computer. Those are 2 additional requirements for this course. All right, so that's pretty much it. The weighting for each of these testable or tests or quizzes or discussion boards is listed in our syllabus. 300 out of our 700 points are going to come from those weekly quizzes. I will say, I forgot to mention, you'll have 3 attempts for each of those quizzes. So if you didn't do well on that quiz, feel free to take it again, and then a 3rd time. I'll post your highest score as your grade on that quiz. Each of the 3 exams is worth 100 points. and the discussion boards total are going to be worth 100 points. So there are going to be, you're going to have a discussion board due at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday night each week that we do have a discussion board. And that's more or less every week unless we have an exam or as we get later in the semester as we start to wrap up the course. So that's pretty much the outline of our course. If you do happen to have any questions, please feel free to either email me or call me, or if you are on campus, my office is in the College of Business, room 359. I'm usually there during business hours if you just want to pop in. If not, I do have office hours from 12:45 to 3:45 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm usually pretty accessible. If you're in the Fishers area, I live in Fishers, so if you need to meet during a weekend, obviously just reach out. I could probably meet you at a coffee shop or something. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.